Hello. There was this really fun suggestion by Cool Cat in the Wishes Unlimited server, which is to have a series of this sort where I walk myself through the team making process just on camera so people can follow along if they wish, follow the development of this team. I'm going to make sure that I follow through with this by playing with this team in the Bash. So I want this team to be competitive. I want it to be fairly usable. The bash happens here in 3 days on April 10th. I probably shouldn't be recording it and then I'm planning to upload it beforehand, but here we are. So that being said, I'm a Cast Elite enjoyer, Cast Elite fan since day one, since December 2024 when I picked up this game. Put Dive was my starter. So we're picking Cast Elite for the serve slot. So something you'll notice about this Cast Elite set is that it's not actually my usual Cast Elite set. The usual set has Power Up, Thump, Launch, Shield. This one has Overwork. The initial idea for this, to be able to wipe myself out and make it a good thing. This is the only way to get a multiplicative serve these days, and I would quite like to abuse that with the best serve in the game. Costing 15 stamina is a little bit rough. Goal of this team is to make a tri-type team. Brom's just pretty good for tri-type in general. First thing we're going to do, before we figure out anything else, is we need to set a drummer. A drummer that plays nicely with every other member of our team, which means I have to play nice with tri-type. Oh. I didn't look at this before, but Bongus is kind of obvious, isn't it? We could either do Welcoming or Flow. This seems fairly obvious, doesn't it? I do quite like the idea of turning off Provoke with my own. There's a trick I used to do. I would like to quite like to try it here as well. I should probably not fully offensively invest Bongus. We'll see how that feels. The trick in mind is to have Avenger on the side for when Cast Elite wipes to 8 with Overwork. Bring in Goliath and have a very boosted Beastie for that. That being said, I would quite like to, if I need Cast Elite earlier, Torch Pass is a thing I could do, but I don't like having 2 defense moves in my core. We'll just try to focus on healing then. We can have Goliath play nice with everyone else as well. I usually run Dramatic Exit here, but the exit feels really bad here for reasons I can't quite put my finger on. We'll add a way to put a timer on somebody, I think just for comfort. I know that Cast Elite Goliath is a very strong duo. That being said, we should also look for our Mind Attacker right around now, because I want this to be a tri-type team first and foremostly. Debugly here looks nice. I would like to run Magpike, but you need a really focused team for that. Also, you can feasibly run Buddy on it, and if you can, then I will. I know myself. We don't really have any mind holes to plug up. Here's a thought. Plucky Goofster. It is fairly nice. I do also like Bin Diva. Debugly is probably the most consistent option for this team, but we don't have Sideways right now. Goofster's already a really good BC, so God bless. This is a very strange set to be trying to play with. I haven't played Goofster in a very long time. Man, you don't really want anything on this team other than a defense move, and we'll make that stinky. We only have one shield user. I don't quite like this. Something with Wink might be a good idea here then. Yeah, let's try and see if we can find anyone with Wink that would go on this team. Let's see, last slot. We have damage, we have damage, we have damage. We need supports. Preferably a tank. Not happening. Okay. We have Mudsley here. We can have a Battlecry serve, actually. Or a Battlecry counter serve. And of course, Grisada. Yeah, Grisada has a nice serve already. Because I want Cast Elite to be able to serve with launch. That's the only mind hole we have on this team. Really, we're starting to be a little mind weak. I don't know that I should run so many attackers. Big Moon Bash 2-point tends to be very aggressive already though, and I'd like to win this 2-point bash. I'm gonna do some loose testing on the tower then, I think, and I'll count back and see how it goes. I'm still trying to set on set. I don't think this is the right move. We don't have enough volleys, just in general. Yeah, we really don't have a lot of volleys, do we? And we have 4 defense moves. Yeah, we'll try this. We'll try it for now. When I'm back, I'll start doing the write-up, tell y'all how it goes. Alright, so I've recorded my tower testing. Hopefully I'll be able to upload some of that. I have noticed some problems. They are quite stark. Firstly, for a tri-type team, we are not offensive enough. There's not enough boosts going around. There's not enough ability to keep things on the offensive. The simplest way to fix this would be putting more offensive stats into Bongus, but I don't quite know that that is an effective solution. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start my write-up. Again, for my money, I would quite like to just figure out what we're doing with this. I still need to figure out a naming scheme as well. If anyone has opinions on that, please put them in the comments below. I will pick the one I like the most if anyone in fact does comment. So for now, we'll just make notes like this. I'm looking at this. I need to be able to. The star of the show here is not in fact Cassidy for once. It's supposed to be live from what I'm looking at. Because refresh feels really bad, I almost want to replace it with something like pipe or like dig or forward pass or something. There's not really anything I can comment on with Goliath other than it felt really strong. There's a lot of potential on this thing. And I don't think I think I was just not building into it. It still feels weird trying to run it is all. I'm noticing that people are really like talking up Goofster with Plucky. I think this is the set. If you're building into Plucky Goofster, it's incredible, but I'm not building into it. I don't like it. In fact, having Plucky on this set never really came up. It feels very strange to me. I would quite like to run Goofy, in fact. I'm pretty sure I changed it to Plucky in game at least. If it was already a Goofy, then that might be a problem. Let's check. Yeah, we ran Plucky on this, so I don't quite like that as a feeling that it has. There's definitely better options. Alright, that's the team analysis done. Grisada is a weird slot on this team, honestly. Specifically refresh. I'm not leaning enough into its offensive capabilities, I don't think. Especially as a support. I'm never clicking cheer on it, and it doesn't feel great to try and play. I imagine, actually, that refresh here is a reason why refresh feels useless on Bongus. There's surely a better pick with Bongus. I'm looking at it now. This is kind of highlighting to me the problem. Bongus standing next to Castellate. Castellate's only purpose is to die, to bring Goliath online and deal as much damage as possible during it. Bongus doesn't really help keep it alive. It can't really bring it back. And it doesn't do anything to boost damage. Even if it could, we don't really want to bring it back, do we? We want to use that for Goliath. Castellate is here to make sure that we can get Goliath online. I have a replacement in mind. I don't think people are gonna like it. Yeah, Goofster's a very difficult slot for this as well. We can't exactly come in and steal the show with a Goofster when we have a Goliath in the back. I'll have to think about different things. Maybe things we can pick up in exchange for sacrificing some sideways pressure. Grisada's a little weird initially. Battlecry in general is good for this team though, I think. So I'd quite like to at least keep that aspect. Very, very telling. I think I'll take my own advice here and start being a little quicker. Yeah, we'll do that. That's where we'll leave it at for now. Man, this is not fantastic. Yeah, Castellate's suggestions are all very much leaning into wiping themselves out or not minding being dead or being able to do it themselves. They're all very aggressive. Bongus is a fun slot to speculate on picks for. I'm not sure how much I believe the Diggum recommendation, but there's not really many things that can actively bring up Cast Elite's damage just by being there. Like maybe a Foggy Sculpture, I don't know. Not a Foggy Sculpture, a Tasana Sculpture. I'll say that a million times fast. As far as Goliath goes, we can't really speculate on replacements for these because nothing can replace Goliath in this context. We'll be doing this as a thought experiment and nothing else. Goliath was pretty fun to think about as well, with the contexts that I had. I am somewhat interested in making a Lunoptra team like this, but firstly I have to make sure that this one works, and I'm trying to make it work tri-type too. It is not a great look for the tri-type soldiers right now. Goofster was concerningly easy to think of replacements for. That's not good. That's really not good. If you are able to think of replacements so easily for a beastie, it's typically a sign that the beastie does not belong on the team. Really just having a beastie on that team at all is the most important part to a write-up, so I'm not too sad that I put Goofster here at all. The idea has potential with Plucky, but it's not going to work in the long run, I don't think. I think I've gotten everybody's suggestions done. Grisada's a very strange one to think about too. It already does really nicely on this team, but I think there is just generally a straight upgrade with Hopra. There's a side grade with Kalidarn being something to make choosing a target very difficult for the opponent, since you either get hit by Castelline in the front after Battle Cry, or you get hit by Kalidarn in the front. Net Rush, Battle Cry, Zigzag type of deal. The only issue being that this pair can't serve afterwards, but that is the write-up for chart type testing. I almost want to come up with a better name for this, but we'll probably do that later. Either way, thank you for your time. Thank you for your patience. I have commissions open. You should give me money.